Have you ever acquired something very cheaply, and later found out it was extremely valuable? 1. My mother bought a set of stainless steel flatware 8 settings at a garage sale for 25 cents. When my wife and I visited her, she showed the set to us. She was upset because she forgot to take it to the neighborhood garage sale because she was sure she could get $20 for the set. I dabble in collectibles and saw the set was Danish, modern with teak handles. Long story short, I sold a perfect 4-place setting to the Frank Lloyd Wright Museum and the other set of 4 to a dealer as they were not perfect. Total sales price $1,024. One garage sale $25 purchase selling for over $1,000. This sale is my most dramatic. 2. I worked for a very recognizable imaging company a number of years ago. Once a year they held a silent auction so that employees could buy old inventory or disused furniture and fixtures. I had a reputation for buying their old test equipment and other electronics. One year I spent $1,500 on racks and racks of gear. I made my money back in just a few days. That was nice, but the next year, an odd piece of equipment appeared laying outside my lab's doors. It looked like a dusty old photocopier. It sat for a couple weeks before my curiosity got the best of me and I decided to Google the model number. It turned out to be a high-speed document scanner that an office might use to archive their paper files. It is designed to operate into the millions of scans during its lifetime. And since many offices were going paperless, it was still very much in demand. I felt lucky to realize that even a model with hundreds of thousands of scan was worth around $500. I offered and won the scanner for $10. I was pretty excited but had to find a buyer. Before that, I decided to hook it up to my office computer to see if I could read how many scans it had performed. What it revealed absolutely blew my mind. It had done 6 scans in its entire life. 6 scans. I found a broker and handed them the information. I was immediately offered $10,000 including freight pickup from the dock. So yes, I made $9,990 from a single transaction. But that wasn't the best one. The next year I got a big computerized logic analyzer for $150. It sold for $14,500. Profit $14,350. I don't think I could do that again. 3. My work friend Jim and his father helped a 92-year-old widower move from his house to a continuing care home. The old guy had some very old fishing lures in his garage. Jim fished and appreciated how good shape the old lures were. One was in an unopened box. Jim made comments about them to the owner. The owner told Jim he could have them. Jim told the guy they might be worth quite a bit of money. The owner was a retired surgeon, said he couldn't really use the money and told Jim good luck and keep whatever he could get out of them. Jim put them on eBay and kept an eye on the bidding at work. I sat next to him and witnessed the bids go from hundreds to thousands of dollars. 3 of the lures sold for a total of over $30,000. Jim contacted the old doctor he helped move. The old guy absolutely refused to accept any money. But the best part of the story, Jim and his wife had been trying to get pregnant. Went to specialists in other states, etc. for over 2 years, but it didn't happen. They were in the process of adopting a little girl. The little girl had twin brothers with whom she was very close. Jim and his wife decided they should adopt the brothers, too. Within a month of the lure sale, the adoption was finalized. The very next week, Jim's wife discovered she was pregnant. A few months later she had twins. During that period Jim's wife's mom was divorced. Jim and his wife clearly needed a bigger house and moved. Jim's mother-in-law moved in with them. A win-win for the mother-in-law and the family as she was very helpful with the children. Jim and his wife went from a small home, for his wife and himself, to a larger home, for his wife, himself, 5 kids, and a mother-in-law, with the help of the proceeds from the fishing lure sale. 4. Oh yes, a few years ago I was flying home from a business trip and stopped at a Quick Stop, 7-Eleven type store, near the airport in Atlanta, Georgia for some items for the flight. As I'm cashing out, I see this fishbowl with loose stones in it. 1. A really pretty blue stone so struck me I bought it, for $0.50. I tossed it in my carry-on bag and forgot about it. When I got home, I showed it to my fiancée who thought I had picked out a nice stone. She had a jeweler friend she used to create drops and such with loose gemstones. We took it to him and he said, "You know this is lapis, right? High quality." 2. How much did this set you back? I told him. He laughed, said I did well. A stone like yours is easily worth over $1,000. My fiancée had him use it as the focal point of a beautiful lapis drop she still has. She's now my wife of 28 years. All's well that ends well. 5. About 5 years ago, I was poking around a thrift store and found a brand new pair of Armani trousers for $7. They had all the tags, including the price tag from the very elite department store that had sold them. The tag said $699. I actually laughed out loud. I mean, what schmuck would pay $700 for a pair of pants? I went to a function shortly after, and met a young woman who made a living selling used designer clothing on the internet. I told her the story. She said that store is so elite and so outrageously priced that they have an absolute return policy. No matter what, you don't even need a receipt. You should take them back. I didn't believe her, but I told a friend about it, and she wanted to try it for a lark. She bugged me for weeks, and I finally agreed, but only if she would go and lurk in the background, in case they tried to have me arrested or toss me out of the store. I put on my best clothes, went to the men's department, and was immediately greeted as a celebrity. I told them my mission, and their enthusiasm was not diminished in the least. The elegantly attired salesman tapped a few buttons on his computer, and looked perplexed. My adrenaline shot up, and I was about to run for the door, but I figured I'd never make it before I was tackled by security. Beau Brummel said we discontinued these a year ago, and the data is not coming up on the computer. I averted his gaze, sweated another 4 ounces, and reached for my pants. He picked them up before I could, and asked me to wait. While he was gone, I rehearsed what I was going to say. Look, I would have never done this, but this cute girl at the cocktail party said it was okay. Then my goofy friend hiding behind the $1,200 Hermes ties made me do it, and she has the thrift store receipt in her Walmart purse, and if you let me out of here I'll never do this again. And he came back with the manager, who said we are very sorry, but the last time we sold these trousers, they were on sale for $500. Oh, I apologize, but without a receipt, we can only refund $500. Oh, plus the sales tax, for a total of $541.80, and that will be on a gift card. If you would like, I can call someone higher up, but that's as far as my authority extends. I gulped, nearly fainted, and told him that would do nicely. I reviewed the moral implications of this later, and never could decide if I was a crook, or just a sleazy opportunist. I admit, I may be the former, but definitely the latter. On the other hand, maybe I was just a proxy for some trust fund baby who was too lazy to take back a $700 pair of pants that didn't fit. Redistribution of wealth? What do you guys think?